Hello and welcome to another episode of the Poverty Franchise Podcast. It's PJ once again. Another crazy week of NFL action has come and gone. It is NFL Week 5. When I say crazy and entertaining, it definitely didn't start that way. The Thursday night game was one of the most horrendous displays of football I've ever seen. But the Monday night game surely made up for it. And everything in between, of course. But we'll first start off with the customary listing all the scores in the most boring fashion humanly possible. In the worst OT game I think I've ever had the privilege of watching that isn't Iowa Hawkeyes football, the Colts beat the Broncos 12-9 mercifully. If it had ended in a draw, that would have been quite possibly one of the funniest things that ever happened in the existence of humanity. The Giants beat the Packers, Bills crushed the Steelers, Chargers beat the Browns, Texans beat the Jags having a big regression this week, Vikings beat the Bears just back-breaking fumble to lose the game. Saints beat the Seahawks in a shootout. Patriots blank the Lions. Jets beat up on the Dolphins, where they had to bring in their rookie quarterback, I think, or second-year rookie quarterback, Skylar Thompson from Kansas State. Buccaneers beat the Falcons off of a very questionable call, the Grady Jarrett roughing the passer incident, we'll say. First of two this week. Titans beat the Commanders, and the Ron Rivera story has another. Ron Rivera is probably the next coach on the hot seat after the next mention. The Niners will beat the Panthers. They have beaten the Panthers, my apologies. And Matt Rule is fired. Thank the Lord Almighty. He's probably going to go to Nebraska or Arizona State. Georgia Tech might be the only other job I can see him really taking. Just touch on Matt Rule. He's the new Bobby Bonilla for a little bit. Those who don't know, Bobby Bonilla gets paid $1 million by the New York Mets because he got his contract stretched, so they didn't have to pay it at one time. Also, I'm drinking Mexican Coke today. I need the real sugar in my sugar water. Basically, he's going to get paid a lot of money. He's going to be double dipping on whatever job he gets in college because he's going to get a high tier job. The Wisconsin job's also on the table as well. I can't really see anyone else getting fired at this point in the season in college football that will be a more high profile job. Matt Rule already took a very tough Baylor rebuild after the Art Briles incidences, with the assaults and the cover-ups that are at Baylor, which is weird that Baylor, both of the major sports programs at Baylor went through hilariously bad controversy. But excuse me. But we'll see how that goes for him in college. I think he's a very good college coach, and once he's back, get his footing, we'll touch back on this in 2 years. The Eagles beat the Cardinals off of a doink field goal by the Cardinals to miss overtime. The Cowboys beat the struggling Rams. The Ravens beat the Bengals in a close one on Sunday Night Football, and the Chiefs beat the Raiders because Josh McDaniels decided to go for two instead of tying the game. And Hunter Renfro's having a week from hell. And Devonta Adams pushed a poor cameraman. Please get your bag, cameraman. But other than Matt Rule, we're going to go back to Ron Rivera. Carson Wentz is not playing good, and Ron Rivera has thrown his quarterback under the fucking bus. Openly. He said the problem was quarterback. We're not denying that he's wrong. I don't think anyone who's honest is going to be like, yeah, he's wrong. Carson Wentz is not the problem at quarterback. Carson Wentz is a problem at quarterback. However, as a leader of men, which is what you are as a head coach, you're leading men into a weekly battle, basically. There's something else you got to do to express that. You worry, that's in-house, right? That is in-house shit. And for a defensive guy, I mean, the team's let in they're in points for. They're 25th in the league in defense. They're producing the least amount of turnovers in the league. They have one of the worst pass defenses in the league. So, Mr. Ron Rivera, what are you doing? I mean, you win week 1 against the Jags. They score 22. That's not bad. But then you let the Lions score 36. Lions have a good offense. Eagles score 24. You only score 8. The Cowboys scored 25 with their backup quarterback and 3 scores with the Titans. You're a vaunted defensive man. Defense needs to show up a bit more. Now, it could be because the offense is getting left on the field with Carson Wentz constantly fluttering out 3-0s and back-breaking turnovers. That is another possibility. But how Ron Rivera's handled this, I can't condone that. As a fan of Ron Rivera, again, Ron Rivera is the main reason why I got to see a Super Bowl in my lifetime with my favorite team. He was the defensive coordinator for the Bears back in 2006-07 under Lovie Smith. And I have nothing but love for Ron Rivera, but it's the wrong way. It's that blunt attitude. It works when you're winning. Holy shit, does it look bad when you're 1-4. Segueing to the Bears. Justin Fields has his best game of the season. He completed 15 passes. Holy fucking shit. At a reasonable percentage. Holy fucking shit. 208 yards, a TD, no picks. But loses because Amir Smith-Marset. A dude, I'm going to be 100% honest, I didn't even know he fucking existed. He was on the Vikings last year, apparently. Back-breaking. Just absolutely back-breaking fumble. We should have just got out of bounds, but it was a good showing. The team showed fight. They were down 21-3. The fact that the game was a one-score game at the end of the day is a good sign. The team's showing growth. I hope Fields can build on this momentum. The Vikings defense is very middle of the road in terms of personnel and play. The Vikings offense is actually really good this year. We'll just have to see if Kirk Cousins can show up in prime time. And the fact the Bears held Dalvin Cook to under 100 yards is very impressive given how shit the defense is, the run defense is. The pass defense got burned. Was Jalen Johnson, I believe, was inactive last week, or definitely hurt last week. Yeah, I think Jalen Johnson was hurt last week, and it showed because Justin Jefferson got his shit fucking cooked. Yeah, so he's been hurt the last few weeks. I mean, Justin Jefferson was cooking, is what I meant to say. And Kyler Gordon's just kind of getting that welcome to the league year. He'll be getting better, but I think with the team being healthy, it should be getting better. And he's allowing a 75% completion rating. He's giving up 370 yards. That's not good. But hey, you can only ask so much from him. I mean, the last 2 weeks, I mean, he only gave up 65 yards against the Vikings. That pretty much covering their number 2 guy because Kendall Vildor was number 1 guy. I think in that case, only 65 yards, lots of underneath stuff, so it's all right. The Bears offense definitely played better. Slow start, left the defense on the field a little too long, but we'll figure it out. The division's still in order, also because in the London game, the Giants made me happy when I was hate watching. They beat the Packers. The Giants do some small miracle or 4-1. I guess that's in spite of Daniel Jones. If this team had a good quarterback, they'd be It's crazy that the NFC East is truly the hell division when I thought it was really just going to be the Eagles and Cowboys having a mid-off before the year started. Erroneously with the Eagles. That was me being stupid. I could not predict the Cowboys defense to really show up this good this year. But I definitely should have predicted the Eagles being a better football team than I gave them credit for in the preseason. And the AFC West, not the AFC West. The AFC West actually isn't that mid. The NFC West is a bit off, however. And I think NFC West, Geno Smith's still playing his ass off, even though they got the loss. The Niners recover. They're real banged up though. They lost their starting corner for the season. Joey Bosa Oh shit, Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa is hurt. Banged up. What's his name? What's the corner's name? Oh my god. Emmanuel Mosley. Yeah, Emmanuel Mosley's out for the year. So that's going to be a big hamperance on the 49ers' march towards the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And since I'm on this game, I guess I'll talk about the Panthers again. Baker's banged up. Sam Darnold's still hurt. Holy shit, y'all might be playing Pete. You're going to be starting P.J. Walker next week. Please free Christian McCaffrey and please bring DJ Moore to the Bears. That is all I'm going to say on that. The other hot seat other than Ron Rivera's that I think that's really heating up this year is going to be Dan Campbell's. I like Dan Campbell. I really do. But his team cannot stop shit. I don't know if it's a scheme and his offense looks good. Jared Goff does not look like a shit quarterback anymore. But the coaching's going to have to be better or he's going to lose his job. Frank Reich's also on the hot seat. Nathaniel Hackett's on the perpetual hot seat. I think Frank Reich. I think the Colts need to go ahead and get a quarterback and develop them instead of trying these 1-year rentals. And then Nathaniel Hackett should be fired already. I live and die by that. Josh McDaniels has a very high possibility of only lasting one season if the Raiders massively underachieve. They didn't do what I said they had to do last week. They had to beat the Chiefs before their bye. They had to go into this being 2-4. They're 1-4 now. And all those losses are bad. Every loss has been just absolutely painful. There are a few breaks from 5-0. But that's what separates good teams from bad teams. Good teams make those breaks. Bad teams don't. I feel sorry to be a Raiders fan. And then for the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, you never had a losing season. This is the year you're gonna have a losing season. You're 1-4 as well. The Bills just shellacked y'all. Team's young. It's a rebuild. It's a new era. No Roethlisberger. Kenny Pickett definitely has the talent. I think he'll be good in the league. He just went against a fucking juggernaut, and there was not much for him to do about that. The Chargers, as banged up as they are, get the win against the Browns. The Browns fall to 2-3. They're going to need Deshaun back, but they're really banged up too. With Myles Garrett was out with the car accident. Glad he's okay. But we'll have to see how that goes. The Jets, again, the Dolphins were playing. The Dolphins are without their offense, really. The Jets surprise 3-2 team. Good on Robert Saleh. I like this hire. I'm really glad he's playing good. Pray Teddy Bridgewater can play next week because Skylar Thompson is just not the fucking guy you want out there next week. But we'll see. And I hope Tua's okay. I hope he can play again because his talent is really good and he's really entertaining to watch, but his health comes first, so I really hope he's good. And on that topic, the NFL really just course-corrected in the other direction. And now you just can't hit the quarterback. 2 really bad roughing the passer penalties. One definitely affected the outcome of the game. The other, the Chiefs still won. So it's I think it's Chris Jones. It wasn't Frank Clark, if I'm not mistaken, with the strip sack fumble. The what should have been a strip sack fumble. Also, Mad Max Crosby with 2 sacks. Good game out there. Chandler Jones still has no sacks, so get on that. Get on that. Yeah, Chris Jones had the strip sack. Man, it was called roughing the passer, and then Grady Jarrett with a clean quarterback hit gets called for roughing the passer against the Buccaneers, and that one you can argue definitely affected the game. Yeah, you gotta let them hit the quarterback. I'm sorry, I've never liked the fact that running backs can get beat the fuck up day in and day out, but the quarterback is this special privileged case. I get not hitting them low. I get not doing what the Packers did to Jim McMahon. I get not just beating up on them unnecessarily. I truly do. But they're football players at the end of the day, and football is a violent game. They're out there just like everyone else is. The risk of injury, just like everyone else is. It's just the way it is. I know some people are going to get special treatment. It's just the way people are. but you got to let defense be played. And the NFL's ever-landing quest for offense and more money, the offense gets boring if it's effortless. The reason I think people like high-flying offense is the resistance to it. The fact that they're beating people, the fact that they do have to make the cut, the fact that they might have to run through someone to generate that offense, the fact that the line has to put people on their ass for that offense to work. People like people to overcome things, and they should have to overcome a tough defense. I get you don't want the Big Ten West football. I get that. I don't either. That shit's ass. I don't want Punt Fest as much as the next guy. But you gotta let defense be played because it helps the game as a whole. That's my 2 cents on the NFL and their money-making schemes. The last topic I'll talk about for this week really will be the Jags' regression to losing to the Texans. Texans get on the board for their first win of the season. Now there's no winless teams in the NFL anymore, so congratulations. The Jags only scoring 6 points. Again, I think it's probably just a young team thing. Young team growing pains. Doug Peterson's first year. A lot of these dudes. Everyone's rookie year. It's everyone's rookie year. Everyone who's a rookie last year wasn't a fucking rookie. Dameon Pierce, great running back. High hopes for his future. I can gladly say I think I was wrong about every quarterback prediction I made, so don't listen to me about quarterbacks. I am a Bears fan. You should never listen to me about that. Anyway, but Davis Mills is not, in fact, a starting quarterback. He's a good backup. He'll be in the league a while, I believe, because he's with the amount of reps he's gotten. I'd want him if I need to finish out a game. I need a guy who can not lose me a couple games. If my starter gets hurt, I'd like to have someone who has a season. Now almost 2 seasons worth of starts, or going to be 2 seasons worth of starts under his belt. I'd like that on my team. But with the Jags, they're young. Everyone's rookie year because Urban Meyer fucked it all up. So I'm just keeping a close eye on them because I like Trevor Lawrence and because Clemson. Also, shout out Clemson beating Boston College 31-3. Shout out Kansas and TCU for a good barnstormer of a game. Fuck you, Iowa and Illinois for playing a god-awful game of football. As usual, it's always the Iowa Hawkeyes. Texas A&M almost upsetting Alabama, but we'll see how next week goes for the college football ranks. I'm not really going to touch on it this week. We're going to just look at the games next week and see what's what and who's who. Also, my pick for MVP is probably going to be Josh Allen. I think he's on the warpath this year. It's going to be between him, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. It's kind of becoming the usual suspects up there. There's no real other MVP contender. There's no running back like Jonathan Taylor of last year. Also, Jonathan Taylor's hurt for the Colts. I really forgot to fucking mention that. Sucks to suck. There's no one else. And before I actually talk about Week 6, I'll talk about Baker Mayfield. I don't think it's. I think there's something else. I really think he's a much better quarterback than this, but I cannot ignore that he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now. In terms of anything you look at, the eye test, all that. I guess that was another one I was wrong with. I really thought Baker was going to come out with a fire, but we'll see how he does with new coaching and if he's healthier. He comes back from this injury with a new coach, but it's a lot of different schemes and a lot of playbooks he's looked at in the past few years. So, anyway. Thursday night game is the Commanders and Bears. I feel sorry for the rest of the fucking country. My bad, y'all. Niners, Falcons. I'll go Niners, even if they're... Actually, I'll go Falcons. They're going to be pretty pissed after losing the game against the Buccaneers. The Niners are hurt to hell. Your first game after being injured to hell is never a good one. Patriots, Browns. I'll go Browns. Again, Bailey Zapp's playing a lot better than he has any credit to. Shout out Western Kentucky University. FBS passing touchdown leader, by the way. I think the Browns will win. Jags, Colts, I'll go Jags. Jets, Packers, that's an interesting one. I don't think the Packers will lose to 2 straight New York teams. But the Packers also have no run defense, and Breece Hall and Michael Carter are a dangerous 1-2 duo back there, and Zach Wilson's playing much better than I thought. I'm going to go Jets, just because I want the Packers to lose. Vikings, Dolphins, Vikings, because the Dolphins might be starting Skylar Thompson. Bengals, Saints, Bengals. Ravens, Giants, I'm going to go Ravens. Buccaneers, Steelers, Bucks. Panthers, Rams, Rams. The Rams will get a big boost by being to play a nobody to reorganize. Cardinals, Seahawks, I'm going to go Seahawks. I'm just instigating at this point. I think Geno Smith is going to ball out. I'm wrong about every quarterback prediction. Remember that. Bills, Chiefs, the game of the week. Well, two games of the week, because Cowboys-Eagles is the other game of the week. That's truly the game of the week, if I'm being 100% honest. I believe the Bills will beat the Chiefs, and I believe the Eagles will beat the Cowboys. I think Cooper Rush going against a legit top 5 defense in the league like the Eagles, I think that's where he's going to face his first loss. Broncos, Chargers. I'm not going to elaborate. Russell Wilson's also hurt, so take that as you will. I know the Raiders are off. I forget the other team that's off. So, God help me on that. I will figure it out by looking it up, because I actually forgot who the other team that's off is. I know the Raiders are off, So the 4 teams: Titans, Raiders, Texans, and Lions are off next week. So those are the matchups we got. It's been another fun week. I look forward to Week 6 of the NFL. Yes, it's a Khalil Mack Raiders jersey. He still is kind of my favorite player in the league. Liked him ever since he came out of Buffalo. It's kind of where I have the Raiders jersey. And when he got traded to the Bears, it was like one of the best days ever, because it was like right before my first Clemson football game. I got to go watch, so that was a great time. But another episode of the Poverty Franchise NFL Roundup. It's been PJ. It's been great. Stay hydrated, even if it's with stuff that's going to kill you eventually. Cheers. I'll see you on another episode. Bye-bye.